sports fans, ASMR Sports back in your business to relax with some sports cards, ladies and gentlemen. You may be asking yourself, why is this guy whispering? Well, the truth is, my wife is sleeping in the other room, and that's the only time I can record videos. Just kidding, that's a joke. This is an ASMR channel. Welcome. You should try to relax more, because if relaxing upsets you, causes you to leave mean comments on a video on YouTube, you might be experiencing excess stress in your life, which can lead to all manner of health consequences. So I urge you to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, relax your entire body, and sit back to enjoy some football cards that I've never opened before and probably will never open again. We have a box of 2016 Panini Contenders Draft picks. Excuse me. This was one of a bunch of football products from like the sort of mid-2000 teens that I bought at a sale at a local like antique mall thing. Gosh, probably like a year ago at this point. And I opened a bunch of them when I first got them, but then I kind of stopped. But I still have quite a few more things to open up, which I intend to do on videos. But it's kind of crazy. My last video was on football cards, and I honestly pretty rarely do like football cards on this channel. But these were kind of taking up space, and I just want to like try to clear out as much as I can, so I have some more room to work with down in my card dungeon. So that's why we're digging into these guys. So 2016, boy, I did open a tiny bit of 2016 football products, because the number 2 draft pick in that year, 2016, was a local hero where I live in Fargo, North Dakota. The local college team here is a Division I FCS team that like basically has won like, I don't know, 18 of the last 20 championships. I don't think it's quite that much, but it's dang near close. So they're very successful in the football championship series of NCAA football, which does not include most of the better programs, but still is something, I guess. Anyway, so the quarterback for the 2016 team entered the draft and was predicted to go in the top 3-4 picks, but he did not actually get picked first. It was Jared Goff, not this guy Paxton Lynch. Jared Goff, who's still around and I think kind of doing fairly well for himself. He's changed teams a few times, I think, but Carson Wentz is kind of just. I think he was like a I don't know, 4th-string backup quarterback for the Chiefs, like last year, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like there was a game where basically they had clinched, their playoff berth and their seed in the playoffs, and you don't F around with your star quarterback, Mahomes. In that situation, I feel like Carson Wentz either had some playing time for like one game, kind of at the end of the season, or at least was talked about having some playing time. I don't know if he ever got in, but I may be misremembering that. I don't know, you Chiefs fans will know, but I'm pretty sure that's what I remember. So yeah, Carson Wentz has just not had a successful NFL career, and he's had a lot of injury issues, and his team, strangely, when he was, I think, a rookie or second year, it was the Eagles when they made their playoff run, but then he got injured, and then it was their other quarterback, whose name escapes me. He was kind of like a one-hit wonder too, and he did win a Super Bowl. So Carson Wentz does have a Super Bowl ring, I believe, from that effort, since he was on the team that year and did play a bunch of games for them before he got Wentz rookies. What's his name? Is it Ezekiel Elliott? I'm thinking of one of the Cowboys, like, superstars is also in this year. I think he's in 2016. And then I guess Jared Goff would be a decent pull at this point. Not like a base rookie, but some kind of parallel or something. Might be worth having, but mostly I'm guessing they'll be pretty much kind of, valueless stuff in here, but this is more of a history lesson for me and perhaps for you. Now, these days, Panini Contenders Draft blaster boxes generally come with a guaranteed auto, and often it's kind of a terrible one. It seems like they put the better autos in the hobby products. And a lot of the, kind of terrible players, which in draft pick products can be pretty terrible, they end up in the retail products. You may never get anything good from those autographs in Contenders, but I was looking on this box, and it doesn't say anything about an autograph. Whoa. It does. So I missed it. I think I was looking on the sides and the bottom, but sure enough, on the front of the box it says 2 autographs per box on average. So wow, that's crazy. I never knew that Contenders once had 2 autos per box. I mean, that's just crazy talk. Man, they must have had like some of the cheerleaders signing those autos or something. Let's get a little bit of a refreshment here with the Orbit Spearmint Gum. Alright, 7 packs it looks like. And, yeah, well, now I'm kind of excited to get 2 autos, but I'm sure they'll be pretty bad. Now, with Contenders Draft sets, they generally do put a handful of, current players, like veterans, in their college uniforms on cards, and some of those players are included in the autograph checklist. So theoretically, you get like a John Elway autograph out of here, or Jim Kelly. All right, here we go. Joe Hayden. Oh, is there an autograph right away? Yes, it is. It's Trent Matthews. I'm not sure what team that is. Let's find out. That's, of course, his college team. Columbia. Oh, sorry, Colorado State. Okay. All right, I might have recognized Colorado U colors, but not Colorado State. So we gotta. And there's probably a fair number of guys in here that, like, were in the NFL, maybe had a solid season or 2 before kind of fading, but I never really would have heard of them because I didn't follow football. I mean, I barely follow it now, but back in 2016, I definitely did not follow it. So I don't know, if any of these guys did anything in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure that guy was not a star. I'm sure I would have heard of a star like, this guy, Ezekiel Elliott. Ohio State. So this is school colors insert. It's got a cool little kind of rainbow foil for the lettering there of the name and the insert set. So that's pretty cool. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Take that out. So there's one of these kind of veteran players in their college uniform type cards. This is a insert old school colors. Kind of cool. I don't really have a lot of Tom Brady cards, so I'll take what I can get. Maybe we'll pull that out. Alright, here we have Game Day Kenyon Drake for Alabama Crimson Tide. And then I saw this and I opened it and I was like, oh cool, we're going to get an Ezekiel, but we ended up actually getting 2 Ezekiels out of this box, so pretty cool. 2 Ezekiels, right? Who's probably the best player in this class at this point. An auto and a Tom Brady card. Is pretty dang solid for first pack, I would say. Pretty excited about that. You know, it's funny, I often, not often, but I sometimes think, you know, buying Panini Contenders like blaster boxes is not a bad idea to kind of hold on to for posterity, because, you know, the guaranteed auto thing, I feel like, is a real draw for people. And in fact, back in 2019, when in the NBA, people were, you know, going bonkers for Zion Williamson, and John Morant to a lesser extent, even though he's the better player, you know, as time has proven. But I bought a bunch of like Contenders Draft basketball boxes, you know, like from Walmart, like just at MSRP, which, you know, like anything you could get at MSRP back then, because of the hype of the draft class, you know, was a good deal. So I bought a bunch of those, and I just kind of like sat on them for a long time, and at this point 2019 stuff is pretty much, you know, worth about like a fourth of what it was at that time, or maybe less. But I don't know, something like 3 years ago, I put up a listing on eBay selling these boxes for, I think, like 40 or like somewhere between like $40 and $50, I think, which was kind of like market at the time I posted them. And, you know, I paid $19.99 for them, which was the MSRP. So, anyways, those boxes, like, slowly over the next 2 or 3 years or whatever, how long I had them up, like, they all sold out. I mean, and this was like well after the Zion Williamson thing, like, you know, kind of fizzled, or at least largely fizzled. I think a lot of people held out hope for him for a long time, but so I was like, wow, people really, I'm like, are people ordering this stuff by accident, or what's going on here? But I think, I don't know, they just are drawn to that one guaranteed auto per box. I mean, you look at baseball cards, flagship tops guarantees you one hit per hobby box, and that's usually going to be a mem card. So like, to have a blaster for 20, 30, 40, whatever it costs you, and have a guaranteed auto in it is pretty special. I mean, there's really nothing like it out there, I don't think, except for these crazy things like from Leaf, or from these other kind of like off-brands that are, you know, have no licenses, not even college license. Clay Matthews. So I guess Paxton Lynch was probably one of the top guys back in the day, you know, when this stuff came out, given that he's on the cover. But yeah, I don't know if he just never kind of made it onto the starting roster of a team or what. So anyways, I think about that a lot, and I think, like, you know, maybe I should just be picking up a bunch of Contenders, especially if I can get it sort of cheap. You know, maybe like after release, a lot of times you can get stuff for below MSRP. All right, Braxton Miller and Devin Johnson were our last two there. So yeah, I don't know, maybe Panini Contenders is a kind of crazy but good play. Lately I've been thinking about, you know, I opened up in my last video 2024 Optic football cards, and I've been seeing, like, on Facebook and like some other places, that you can get like retail boxes of those for about $100. I can get them a little bit cheaper, you know, through DealerNet, but I've seen people sell them for about $100, or maybe a touch more, like $105 on eBay. And I think Walmart was selling them for $100 plus, you know, tax. At some point, they may still be doing that in a way that, you know, you could actually get them if you tried. So I don't know, like $100 for any kind of complete box, even if it's retail. There's Derrick Henry. Seems like a pretty solid deal for a product that's, you know, like one of the top 2 pro products along with Prism, for kind of like mid-tier sets. There's a Dak Prescott. I think he was a rookie. I think him and Ezekiel Elliott were rookies the same year, if I'm not mistaken. Although, I kind of also feel like maybe it was Dak Prescott who was the rookie in 2016, and Ezekiel Elliott was maybe a year before, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. So anyways, I don't know. I thought I would mention, like, very, very, very little these days attracts me in terms of, like, ideas on stuff that I could stock up on in the sports card world. In the Pokemon side, forget about it. I'm still, even though the market slowed a little bit, or at least it did for a month and a half there, I think it's kind of back on a rocket ship. But even during that slow time, I was still buying tons of Pokemon. I just kind of shifted a little bit. I started buying, more like older stuff from like 2015, 2016, which qualifies as old in Pokemon. Anyways, I did a video on some of my older booster boxes I bought on my Pokemon channel, which is called Poke Relaxing. Check that out if you like Pokemon cards. I'm going to be doing some content there here shortly. So yeah, I guess I was saying there's not a lot that I feel like I should be buying sports card wise, which maybe is actually exactly when you should be buying, because everything's cheap probably. Richard Sherman. Alright, DeMarcus Robinson. But yeah, the Optic 2024 Optic football retail boxes, if I can get them for less than 100, seem like something solid enough to, maybe buy like 20 of them, like a case worth, and just put them away and just wait and hope one of the rookies does real good. Excuse me. Right. So we've got 3 packs left, and 1 auto remaining. Very excited to see if we can get a Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, or anybody I've actually heard of. I think that's gonna be the auto there. It doesn't look like either of those guys, although maybe Tyler Boyd, Devonta Freeman. No, I've heard of Devonta Freeman, so I presume he's done something in the NFL. Joey Bosa, who I think is Nick Bosa's brother. Todd Gurley, and our second and final auto is going to be, I think it's a parallel Jordan Jenkins, because that blue lettering strikes me as different. Wow, there's like a little dent in the back there. You can see right there. But it's not numbered or anything, and it is a sticker auto. So, yeah, I don't know. So I've not heard of Jordan Jenkins, but anyways, it is pretty cool to get 2 autos, even if they're nobody's, out of a blaster box that I'm sure was MSRP $19.99 back in 2016. I don't know, I just think, like, back then, probably there were like 5 times as many players that had value as today, when everybody's kind of been weeded out. Rob Gronkowski, so that'd be like a throwback card. Same with that one. Christian Hackenberg, Andy Dalton, Hunter Henry, and Derrick Henry. Wait a minute, so Derrick Henry's got to be a throwback, right? I think he was a rookie way before this. Alright, last pack here in our 2016 Panini Draft Contenders box opening. Alright. Demacong, so Carson Palmer. Passing grades. Derrick Henry. Alright, now I'm starting to be paranoid because that's like a lot of Derrick Henrys we're pulling, and I feel like they wouldn't do that for veterans. So was he a rookie? Was it? Because isn't he like really good? I don't know. You football guys have to tell me. Adrian Peterson is definitely a throwback. Connor Cook and Devin Kajuste. I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry is not a 2016 rookie. Pretty dang sure. So I don't know. There you go. It's kind of funny. We got Dak and Ezekiel like just overflowing out of the first two packs, but then kind of didn't really see him again after that. So, all right, folks, there you have it. One blaster box of 2016 Panini Contenders Draft Picks football cards. Probably the last one I'll ever open in my whole life. But who knows? Who knows, folks? Life is like a box of chocolates. You can always find more contenders in a large lot purchase. See y'all next time. Have a great one. Bye now.